Hello everyone and welcome to Small Time TV. I'd like to begin by acknowledging the traditional owners of the land, the Woiwurrung Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past, present and emerging, and give a very special warm welcome to any First Nations people here with us tonight at Small Time and also streaming from wherever you may be. Welcome. I am so excited to introduce and welcome to Small Time Mamakin Spender and your 13-piece choir.
Travel light.
Yeah. How would you feel about singing a few numbers for us?
Yeah,
That's
cool.
what we're here to do, yeah.
Let's do it.
Now I'm wondering whether we should have done before with the choir. Should we change our plan now? Let's do it.
Yeah.
Change our plan. Last night I couldn't sleep. I was racked by a vision from a dream. Her arm was draped around your neck. You were happy, you were safe in her embrace. Oh, you were laughing, you were home, her embrace. Am I everything you need? Am I enough? Just say the word, I'll leave. Is she everything you ever wanted? In her arms, can you feel what's wrong with me? Oh, in her arms, can you feel what's wrong with me? In the morning you were clinging to our opposite sides of the bed. There was a valley scorched between us. I called to you, you couldn't make out what I said. Oh, when I spoke, you couldn't make out what I said. Am I everything you need? Am I enough? Just say the word, I'll leave. Is she everything you ever wanted? In her arms, can you feel what's wrong with me? Oh, in her arms, can you feel what's wrong with me? I won't listen to the whispers. I wanna see the words falling from your mouth. I won't listen to the ache in my guts when you say you'll be late, you're caught up, you'll be home soon enough. Last night I couldn't sleep. I was racked by a vision from a dream. Her arm was draped around your neck. In her arms, can you feel what's wrong with me? Oh, in her arms, can you feel what's wrong with me? Oh, in her arms, can you feel what's wrong with me? Okay. It's hot. All right, next song is called Eye of the Storm. Now the choir audience becomes the choir, activated. Everyone was like, where's the choir? All right. Okay, so this song's called Eye of the Storm, and it's a song about sitting in the middle of the mess you made, regardless of how achingly uncomfortable it can be to deal with the fact that you made a mess in the first place, let alone have to sit with the mess that it is. It's called Eye of the Storm.
Counting the seconds between the thunder
Wow. Wow. Holy crap. There's a whole party going on in here. That was so cool. Thank you so much. And we've just like broken the record for small time number of members of everyone being in this studio at once. I think there's like 17 or 18 of us. Anyway.
It's a lot of heat generators in here.
Yeah.
It's like a fish tank in
Yeah.
here.
It's hot.
A very musical fish
Beautiful.
tank.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's tropical. Thank you. First of all, so Mamakin Spender, Danielle Caruana, Tommy Spender.
Yeah.
And what is the name of this incredible choir?
This is First Chorus Band of Singers, and the special thing about this choir is it's led by Virginia Bott, and Virginia is actually our choir master that we work with over all the choirs we work with around the world. But this is her own choir, so she wrote all these parts and wrote all of the and manages all the choirs everywhere. But this is her choir, so working with this choir is like working with the source.
The choir.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
the source choir,
The hot
Yeah.
sauce.
the hot sauce choir.
Yeah. And are you all from Brunswick or thereabouts?
We used to be.
Okay. Well, given that we're so close to your Brunswick Music Festival show on Thursday, which is going to be so special, let's have like a brief, big old love-in about Brunswick. What do we love about Brunswick?
Well, I've never lived here, so I can't say, but every time I come here, it's like being in the hub of every like artistic and creative like dreamscape that I have around being like artistic and connected. So that would be my space around here, but I'm sure you guys can all speak to it a lot more.
I love the A1 bakery.
Yeah, props to A1, definitely.
Big props.
Yep.
Brunswick
What's-
Pool.
Yep.
Love Brunswick Pool.
Brunswick Baths.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Jesus.
Well, I mean, it's not, you know,
Yeah.
it's not strictly a bath. If you're going there to have a bath,
That's
you're
right.
probably doing it wrong. But it's so fantastic, and there are limited tickets left to your show on Thursday, so
There
get
are.
on it.
Yes.
But I'm interested because, from what I understand, Mamakin was born from a conversation that you two had because you're obviously very established in your own separate solo careers, but you were sort of like, you know, we're lonely, we do this on our own, it's quite isolating, so let's do something together.
Yep.
And obviously community is very important. And
The
that's
most.
very much at the essence of what we're trying to create here at Small Time in terms of, you know, nurturing and aspiring and educating early stage artists and creating something that musicians can come together around. But you obviously not only collaborate with each other, but then wherever you go, have a choir come and join you. So I'd love to hear more about sort of creation of community and what that means to you.
Well, for me, it's everything, and if it's not sort of, you know, if you want to go into it's the deep value set for me. So if it's not embedded somehow into what I'm doing, then it just feels like something that sits on the edge of everything else. So for things that are at the centre and the core and the things I want to put a lot of my energy into, and I'm willing to sacrifice other things for, community has to be sitting in the centre of that. And collaboration for me is the greatest joy. You know, that experience of becoming greater than the sum of your parts and leaning into each other, and that one person's network becomes someone else's and everyone else's network, and that just grows exponentially just by the act of connecting with other people. It's really exciting. I was this idea of independence. We've been talking a lot about this week because I run a thing called the Management Workshop, which is for emerging artists. And independence is really onerous. It's really hard to do. It's really lonely. And the idea of it was really great, but actually we need to move now towards a model of interdependence and how to work with each other, because we are over-isolated, overworked, and we're not sharing each other's skill banks well. We think we have to be great at everything, and that's just too much.
Totally.
So they end up being not really great at anything.
Yeah. And because there's this, you know, idea somewhere that there's, you know, only room for some people to be successful and that we have to compete, or that, you know, there isn't room for all of us. But you're right, it's about sort of creating a communal and a shared network of contacts and of experience.
Absolutely.
And, so how does that become a meaningful thing and not just, you know, hot air or
Yeah.
just something that we say?
I think it's like, I mean, did you want to speak to this, Tommy, or do you want me to?
No, it's okay. Yeah.
I think it's actually actively taking that terribly vulnerable risk of reaching out and making plans and getting over this whole idea we have that we're a burden to other people. I think that really gets in the way of like, oh, that person won't want to speak to me because they're at that level and I'm at this level, or like this perceived level myth. It's a myth.
Yeah.
Like my experience of being in the music
community is that every time I've asked, 90% of the time I've asked someone for help, I've gotten it. That's an amazing hit rate. And then I haven't asked so many times because I've been burdened by the burdensome kind of myth, and it just gets in the way of growing your pie and growing everyone's pie and having a great A1 bakery kind of situation real soon, because everyone's waiting for it. It's what everyone's looking for, you know, like it's too much to carry on your own.
Yeah.
And we weren't designed to do that.
Yeah.
We were never designed to do that. And we weren't designed to succeed on our own. It's not success if only one person's having it. When a whole community's experience success, that's success. And I mean a whole community, like the whole integrated experience of the community experiencing success. Then we start talking about what the definition of that is.
Because then you forge pathways for other people to follow in your...
Yeah, it becomes, you become part of the music community. It's just like this thing where people are just sharing info. Yeah, just
Absolutely.
ask.
And so on that note of asking for help, I think, Tommy, you're self-managed entirely?
Yeah. I'm self-managed. You're self-managed.
Oh, you're
Together-
self-managed?
together
I thought you had management.
No, we are a self-managed, independent, self-funded.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does that get tricky in terms of asking for help, asking for each other for help? I know you're on separate sides of the country as well. So
we do there's a lot of divvying up of the tasks and kind of going, you're good at that, I'm good at this.
Totally.
Divide and conquer kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And there's, we drop the ball as well. But it's just about kind of just keeping on.
Yeah.
keeping on.
It's amazing being able to do an audit of two people's skill banks and going, cool, what are our strong suits here? Cool, you do that stuff, I'll do that stuff. What's left behind? And then it's really easy to think about who do we add to this team,
Yeah.
you know, rather than just going, the thing that everyone does is add a booking agent, or the thing that everyone does is add a graphics person. It's like, no, just check your network first and then see what's missing, and that becomes a really different conversation. I love co-managing with Tommy because our skill sets really meet well, and every time it's getting hard, every time I remember that and go, we're a really good skill set match, you know, it kind of, the energy lifts and we're like, oh, that's right, we're a great team. It's just hard right now. It's cool. We could still got each other's skill banks, and when you're getting it wrong, I'm probably getting it right, and vice versa. So let's just keep trucking.
And so does that then assist you or give you sort of more motivation in terms of navigating your own solo projects as well?
Well, the solo projects
To
are
be
kind of
honest,
asleep right now.
there's not a lot of time left in the day to do solo stuff other than,
Self-care.
Yeah, deep self-care, family time.
Yeah, that's our solo projects at the moment, self-care.
Well, so on that note, in terms of, knowing when to put things aside or when to focus on things, I'm also curious about the longevity of careers in general, and just because, there are sort of artists that can create and write these hits and and kind of rocket to success. But how does one either maintain that level of success or even, more slowly and organically create a measure of success and maintain that?
Well, it's about defining what success is for you first. I think if it's this week success looks like that, then I think then you can achieve those smaller steps to success. That's going to help you a lot more as a human being with a heart and a soul in there mixed in with it all. And I think that bigger picture of aiming super high is absolutely important as well. But it's like you have to be both at once. You have to little steps and the big one.
Yeah, the breaking down of the big tasks, I think, is a huge thing.
Yeah.
And it all, even those, that rocket, those people that have that rocket moment, that's awesome, but that's no guarantee of the long game being intact. And again, it just comes down to who's your team on the road, at home, and I think we often talk about success in terms of the singular success. And it's actually going, well, what's success in terms of my personal life? What's success in terms of my family, in terms of my community, in terms of my home, in terms of my parents right now? Like, what is holistic success look like? Because then you start moving the needle in multiple places at once. It might move a bit slower, but it's likely to be integrated. Yeah. And that's a much deeper sense and a much more supported, and you take everyone with you and take everyone with each other at once. Very different experience.
And do your measures of success correlate?
Generally, I reckon it's.
Should we have a meeting?
Yeah, we have
Right
a quick
now.
band meeting.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes the success is actually just like performing a song well on that night. You know, that feels pretty successful to me sometimes. Sometimes it means just finishing something when you say you're going to finish it. That feels like success to me sometimes. So.
I think we have a code. I think we definitely have a code of understanding, and every time that code is is sort of perforated or we experience a gap in that code for either of us, our communication is high level. And I think one of the keys of our relationship is we're not afraid to have uncomfortable and difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Like really like, hey,
Your
that
hair.
action, not my hair. My hair's always a source of great conversation.
It's looking immaculate.
Thanks,
right
babe.
now.
I was worried about the headphones, but it's turning out all right. I copped my reflection in the thing. I was like, oh, it looks all right. I'm not going to lie. But yeah, the communication of being able to pull each other aside and know that it's safe to go. You know, I wouldn't do it in front of. Oh, well, there's some things I'd like to talk to you about now, but I'll leave it till later.
Okay, great.
Thanks. But being able
We can
to
live
know.
stream our chats.
We could live stream our difficult chats. That would be amazing. But we're getting quicker. It's becoming shorthand for us to be able to go, hey, I need to talk to you about this thing. Cool, we do it. It's safe. It gets resolved. I hear you. We have measures around listening and hearing each other that have been crafted over time.
Yeah, I mean,
through
we've
difficulty.
we've got a friendship bank
Yeah.
to pull on as well. Like, there's a kind of like, cool, whatever at the end of the day happens, we're still going to be mates.
You need to be mates. Yeah,
So that's first.
that's success.
That's
Yeah.
success.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I am conscious of us being in a
Small room and
small
not breathing.
room. Yeah, but I do really. I feel like. So as I
It
mentioned,
must smell amazing in here. I've got
It's like the airlines where they don't know how bad it smells till you get out.
speaking personally, I smell great, but I do, as I mentioned before we went to air, like Small Time is very much focused on educating and inspiring emerging artists. And I wouldn't ordinarily ask a question as blatant as this, but I feel like it would be remiss of me not to, because you're both so, well careered. What's the word? Like well.
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't know,
nervous
but, like,
about what
I'm
you're going to say.
waiting.
What are we?
You've both given a lot back to the community, and you've got amazing careers in your own right. And I would just love if you wanted to share some sort of a piece of advice, I suppose, for early stage artists, or something that we could all take away. And
That's putting me on the spot.
I
Piece
know,
of advice for
but-
an early stage artist.
yeah,
I think
Or we
just know yourself. Like you come first, then your music comes after that. And I think it's easy to get caught up with the music comes first, but there's no music without you. So the more you know yourself, the further you'll take your music.
yeah,
So for me, there are no rules. You're already a maverick if you've taken your music from your bedroom to a stage. You've got a maverick mindset, so just use that over and over again. Every time you get stuck, get back to your maverick, crazy, for whatever it took to get out there in the first place mindset. Create a network really early and grow together. Seek to grow each other together at the same time. Like find ways, find your people, find each other, do it together.
love it.
And assess the standards you've inherited and check if they suit you or not. And it's okay to disrupt them. It's okay to be a disruptor. We're creatives. Our job is to be disruptive, so be disruptive.
It's amazing. Thank you. That's so helpful and generous. Let's put the choir to work.
Are you still alive?
Thank you so much for coming into Small Time TV.
Pleasure. Thank you so much for having us. Thanks for joining us in the big room.
I tied my own feet. I put a blame on you for my own defeat. Oh, give me mercy. I hear the cry.
Dig deeper, climb high. Dig deeper, climb high. To the blue eyes and that love I'm reaching to touch. It's the blood,
Then the
bluest bluebell. Bell, bluebell, bell. Well, I'm no longer comfort, and I stay here as proof of the pain that I caused you by denying the truth. Now I stand here hungry, 'cause the boys made mistakes. The man comes age when the boy's heart breaks.
yes, the man comes of age.
When the boy's heart breaks.
When the boy's heart breaks.
When the boy's heart breaks. When the boy's heart breaks. Woo! When the boy's heart breaks. When the boy's heart breaks.
When I'm out in the water, it settles and clears. Sweet water drawn up for our children through the years. Just smiling through the tears of the
Blue eyes and that love I'm reaching to touch.
'cause the
Blood,
then the
bluest bluebell. Bell,
Thank you, family.
Yeah. It's so lovely to see people clapping but can't hear you. So maybe like just do something else with your hands. Maybe you have
Yeah,
to dance
that
every
one.
time at the end of every song or
That one,
something.
yeah.
Whew.
You got it in you?
Oh, I've got everything in me. This song's called Road We Leave Behind. And yeah, it's so exciting to be singing this song with a choir.
Oh, yeah.
This is a
moment for
This
us.
is a moment for
This is
us,
a real
yeah.
spiritual moment for us. Thank you.
Hey, thanks First Chorus Band of Singers. Thanks Virginia Bott. What a pack of lovelies.
Try to resist the diesel and the hum, but the hit to the road. It's a wide line, kinda numb, and I'm sick and tired of sleeping in a bed as cold as stone. No one knows if I'll arrive. No one kisses me goodbye. And there's nothing left to hold. So I hold the steering wheel. My hands are the mountain. Forgotten how to feel.
I hold my thumb out in the wind, two fingers crossed behind my back, the growling shifting down in gears. Just take me anywhere but here. But I climb up into your cab. Who knows what's really on your mind? But then your headlights light the darkness, and all those devils running high. There's like a mountain, hard like a valley. A river once ran through me, but the river has run dry. Don't ask me any questions. I don't need reminding of the road we leave behind. Road we leave behind. Not a word between us. The compass is unclear, but I know who you are, and you know where I've been. Road, don't judge the wheels, worn down by those it leads. I'm threadbare, but I'm rolling, and this highway's all I need. Don't ask me any questions. I won't tell you any lies. This silence is sweet rainfall on the sinking desert night. Hands like a mountain, heart like a valley. A river once ran through me, but that river has run dry. Don't ask me any questions. I don't need reminding of the road we leave behind. Road we leave behind. Road we leave behind. Road we leave behind.
That was incredible. Thank you all so much for coming into Small Time for this incredible session. Mama Kin is being scrolled in our steam.
You guys got tagged.
If you'd like to keep the party going, I know I would. Let's all check Mama Kin Spender and this incredible choir out this Thursday at Brunswick Mechanics Institute, and then from there you're heading.
We've got a Peninsula picnic at the end of the month down on the peninsula, and we have this weekend we have the Blue Mountains Folk Festival, and lots more announcements for shows coming later in the year.
And maybe a new recorded works too.
Well, there's
an album,
EP.
EP?
The EP dropping at the beginning of April with the 4 songs that you've heard today. They're on the EP.
Amazing. Thank you all so much for coming into Small Time. That was unbelievable. Inspiring, incredible, goosebumps, the whole bit. Thank you so much. Let's get some air.
Yes!
Thank you.